Hey guys, it's Sarah here from the Crafty Coterie, and today I want to give you an update on the finished Ultimate Personal Organizer that I made using Kathy Orda's tutorial, Kathy Orda with paperphenomenon.com. This is my finished organizer. It's not quite the same as the tutorial. I changed quite a bit of it, but the basic design is the same, and I'll go over as we go along. I'll show you or tell you what changes I made, the ones that I can remember anyway. So starting off, the paper collection that I used was really not a collection. It's just a bunch of different papers that I had in my stash. So this project turned out to be a big stash buster for me. I used just a ton of stuff that I had left over from other projects. There's some Echo Park, Basic Gray, crepe paper, Scenic Route, all kinds of collections all put together and just mashed into this planner here. I also used Stampin' Up's basic cardstock. Most of the cardstock I think that I used was from Stampin' Up. There was, I think maybe this cream here was one of the walnut cream or almond cream, something like that. And that wasn't Stampin' Up, but that might be the only one. So anyway, this is the front. You'll notice in the tutorial that the album opens the other direction, and in the video, in Kathy's version, it opens from this angle, and this flap is obviously the other way. But the album opened from the right, and I didn't like that. I wanted it to be able to open from the left, so I just switched it around and redid the front flap on this side instead. And same basic clasp. It was a hitch fastener with a little ring here and a ribbon. This is just a ribbon that I found in my stash. I really like it. It turned out good. It turned out well. At first I had picked out a green and cream stripe, but I came across this black one and I really like it. A lot. It just looks better. Basic brads that I had laying around. On the spine, I'm not sure yet. I think I'm gonna do some sort of lettering here, but I haven't really decided what I want to do. Just put an eyelet in, and you'll remember the Explorer's clock pendant that I found. Put that on the side. There's a frame here in the front. Not sure what I'm gonna put here yet. There's another the spine on the other side. I like this paper a lot. So you open it up, and you'll see over here, there's the little coffee stain that that I had on here before. One thing is different though. I think last time I may have had it taped down with washi. The washi wouldn't stay, it wouldn't hold it, so I just put a library pocket back here and then stuck this on top. And I like that a lot. I inked a lot around most everything, and the only inks I used were Stampin' Up inks, and then I used Distress inks, and I used the black soot, and this blue here I think is Broken China. But the rest of these are Stampin' Up colors. Night of Navy, there's I think that's maybe that's Really Rust. I used Really Rust, Pumpkin Pie, Summer Fun, Yo-Yo Yellow, let's see, Real Red, Really Rust, and I think that's it. This paper here was, I think this came out of an old Cocoa Daisy kit. And then here, you guys with the kit clubs will recognize this. This was from the Lost and Found Record It set. That was with the Take a Spin, I think. Inside, oh, this actually has an opening here, but I don't have anything in there yet. But you open this up, and then there's a little notepad here. This is the Basic Gray journal snippets. I thought this would be nice just anytime I need to leave a note with someone. I can just pull one out here real quick. Another alteration I made were the front pockets here. Kathy's were much taller, all three of them are, and I wanted this organizer mostly for my business and my personal planner kind of mixed together. So I wanted a place to put some of my business supplies, and for example, I put my cards in here. So I made these pockets shorter to hold business cards, and then these are my brochures for my business, and they fit pretty nicely in here. They're a little tall, but it's not too bad. These were just little note cards that used to come with the Cocoa Daisy kits. You can see there's one like that. You just cut them in half and then make nice little note cards. There's a pocket here, and then you open up the front cover, and this is really, I guess, the basic inside of the planner here. There's a pocket here that I made, just a general pocket with some tags. You can never have too many pockets on a planner. This is just some little folders and notes in here. The binding on this album is much different than the tutorial, and she also did an alternate binding with the coil binding, and you can find that on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description. And I kind of altered that. I knew I wanted to use rings so that I could remove these pages and replace them as I needed to, and I wasn't going to be able to do that with the coil or the hidden hinge binding system, so I decided to use a ring. And I had this Tim Holtz one, the Idea-ology collection, and kind of going off of the idea with the coil binding that Kathy did, where she just made a flap and stuck it in on the one side so the whole thing could be removed. On the coil, though, it stays on the coil. You'll see it in the videos that she's done. I kind of went with that thought, and I mounted the ring, if you can see here, onto a separate piece of chipboard, and I covered it all in black paper, and I made these flaps, and there's one on each side. There's one on the front and one on the back. On the other side back here, I'll show it to you, but they just slip into these pockets here, and it's decently tight, but it has a little bit of play. And the reason I did that was that if it was stable, I was worried that the pages wouldn't lay very well. They wouldn't lay flat, or if it was open too far, it could rip. And I wanted it to have enough room where it could move around, but not so much room that it would come completely out. And I think this binding will work pretty well. It seems to be holding up pretty well so far, and if for some reason I ever wanted to pull it out, I could just pull the whole thing out and then replace it. So there's a pocket here, and it's just snug. I taped it right along the edge where it would just barely fit this in. And if I flip to the back, you can see back here, here's the other pocket. You can see in there. And I just stuck the flap down in here, and they go to probably about right here inside. And I layered these on the back, on top of the pocket. Here's the inside. You can kind of see the lining of the pocket here. So let me flip back to the front. The folders are mostly the same as Kathy's. They're a little bit shorter, and I just did that to accommodate the binding. Everything kind of shrunk down just a little bit. You can see the tabs where I had the cute We Are Memory Keepers bracket tabs, like the one back here, and they stuck out a little too far for the binding here, and they were bumping up against it, so I decided to go ahead and cut them down short. But I really love these tabs because they have a hard plastic over them, and it really protects them well, so they're not going to get banged up too badly. These are, you know, just standard eyelets, pockets there. And on most of the folders, you can see I added just little embellishments here, sayings from various collections that I had things left over from. I'll flip through these real fast so you can see them. These are great. I just like these. I think they're nice little inspirations, you know, quotes, things like that to encourage me, support me in my business or throughout my day. These papers were left over from some kits, either Memory Works or back before they were just simple stories now, or from Cocoa Daisy. I can't remember. Let's see. November looks like he's slipping out. I'm gonna have to fix that. Yep. Oh, this right here, you can see these are from K&company. I think I got these on clearance. They're from the Engraved Garden ephemera packs. There were a couple different ones that I picked up. There's another one. Let's see. Every now and then you'll see one of these sprinkled in here, just something fun. This was a boo-boo before I realized that I needed to shorten my envelopes. I had already made this one to the size, the measurements in the tutorial, and realized that I needed to change it. So when I went to measure for the eyelets, I got this one all wrong. The other thing I did too was, I think Kathy has the flap as a separate piece that's taped onto the back side, the binding here, the black. And I think I ended up using just one piece that folds with a crease on all of them, except for this one. This was the first one I'd done and realized I had to change it. There's another one of those from the ephemera packs. I love these hot air balloons. Let's see. Flip through here. And okay, so here's the back, and then this is the back section here. We do like an envelope system with our cash, and I only really need to have about 3 envelopes of money with me at any given time, and it's usually these 3. We bowl, I do grocery shopping, and then for the extras we have an envelope for that. But things like my husband's lunch, those are all put away somewhere else. But I went ahead and built in these 3 since I knew that this is something I would be carrying around. And they're just little pockets here for the cash that we're going to need for the week. This is a fun little thing I added in the back. I really like this a lot. I have a bunch of these library pockets. And I took one and mounted it back here just for the purpose of anytime I borrow or I lend something out, a movie, a book, or something like that, I can write the person's name here and what they have, and then that way I'll know where things are and you know, what's been lent out and what's lost. This little section here is just some extra washi on a little piece of glossy back paper, and I added this so that I would have extra strips of washi when I need to mark off blocks of time or dates or anything I want to highlight. I can rip a piece off and add it to my planner to mark off vacations or things like that. Okay, so these pages. Like I said before, I totally redid the planner pages from the ones that Kathy had. I loved her little pocket ones. Those were really cute, but for me, I needed something that was larger, that I could use every day, and something a little more specific to my business. And this was what I came up with. It took me forever to do this, and that's why this album took so long to finish, because I would work on these pages for a while and get frustrated, and then I would just have to walk away and leave them alone because they were driving me crazy. And they're not perfect, but they'll work for now, and if I need to, I'll probably adjust them in the future, but I'll go ahead and show you what I have, what I ended up with. One of the things I did on all the little calendars, I have a bunch of these little quote strips, and so I added one to the bottom of every month, just for fun. This is the first page. It's a monthly calendar. I printed this one out from donnayoung.org, and then I just kind of tweaked it a little bit in size and changed the font, but that was it. But I like this so I can keep track of bills. I'll write like electric or house or things like that on the date that they're due. You can keep track of paydays or appointments, everything kind of at a glance. And I like having that. The next page is mostly for my business. It's monthly goals for my business, sales, and customers, that sort of thing. Fitness goals, training for my team and for myself. And then a little social media area here. I do a lot of social media work with my business, and I like to have this little area here to brainstorm things that I want to talk about or blog about, that kind of thing. Over here is a monthly expenses page. So I have this area for personal expenses and then a small area down here for business expenses. The next one is a meal planner page, and then there's two shopping lists, one on the front and one on the back here. I liked this meal planner because I usually plan 2 weeks at a time, but I don't necessarily plan every meal for a specific day. So I can just kind of plan out 2 weeks worth of meals and the shopping list I need for it. And then I have room for the next 2 weeks and another shopping list on the back for it. And then just ideas for snacks and lunches. I don't really get too much into detail on that. Section for notes. New contacts that I can add when I'm out and about. And then back here, the last pages are the weekly calendars. And this is where I probably spend most of my time writing. And I did the calendar Monday through Sunday because that's how our week flows. You know, it flows with the weekend together. So I wanted to have the Sunday on the end here. That's also how I do my project life organizer, and I plan all of my my photo albums that way. So I wanted to keep the theme, keep it consistent, and then when I need to update my project life organizer, I can just have all the dates matching, you know, equally to the two planners. So anyway, up here you'll see a list of 6. This is the 6 most important things that I want to get done that day. And underneath there's a square for morning, for afternoon, for evening. Didn't really want to do times just because our day isn't that structured. I work from home for myself and I homeschool my kids, so we have a fairly unstructured life as far as schedules go. Lots of the same things, but not necessarily at the same times or the same days of the week. Then little reminders for spiritual and personal development, things that I like to do every day. And then down here you'll see the little social media tabs. I can just kind of tick these off when I've done everything I need to do for that day for each of those. And then 531, that's a business reference for the business that I'm in, and goals and things that I need to get done for the day. Over here on this side, you'll see I do have a meals section. So oftentimes what I'll do is at the beginning of the week, I'll go through and say, okay, these are the meals that we want to have, and I'll just write them over here. I don't necessarily like to plan out every single day. So I like having them over here, and then when I've made them, I can just cross them off and I know that one's done. Birthdays and anniversaries, and just a little area here for notes. And that's basically it. I did enjoy the project. Mostly the planner pages were a bit of a hassle and a pain for me, but other than that, it was fun to put together. And it did not go at all the way I had planned as far as color and design goes. I was really kind of thinking I would do something a little more light and, you know, white, pinks, you know, this blue here. I was thinking a much lighter design, and it just didn't turn out that way. I kept gravitating toward these darker colors, and finally I just said, okay, that's what this planner is going to be. And I think it turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the design, especially since I really had no clue at all how it was going to go. Even when I had picked out the papers, just every single step was its own decision along the way. I didn't plan out really any of it. I like the size of this. It's not too bulky. It's a good size to hold in your hand. It's not extremely heavy, but it's good size. I mean, it's going to hold lots of stuff. You're going to get a lot of stuff in here. Oh, I forgot to show you this other thing. The back pocket. This was Kathy's design, and I absolutely love it. It's just a little expandable pocket back here. And I think she reinforces hers with duct tape. And I don't think I had any duct tape at the time, so I just used some Tyvek. But I love this little expandable pocket here, and it can hold, you know, larger items like this. And they're not really going to go anywhere because your strap is going to keep them in once it's closed. So anyway, so that's it. This is my personal organizer. If you have done this project, please leave me a comment below with a link because I would love to see it. And if you haven't and you're interested, you can find the tutorial on paperphenomenon.com, or also you can find the YouTube videos for the coil binding that she did as an alternate binding on YouTube, and I'll put a link to that also. But you'll want the tutorial even though the videos are on YouTube, because it will give you all the dimensions and sizes of everything that you need. So anyway, thank you so much for taking a look and sticking with me through this project, and I'll see you next time.